How much did you guys actually get to work with Dr. Dre at Ruthless?
Oh, well, when I came to Ruthless with Living Like Hustlers, it was 80% done. I worked with him because it was done in the 8-track and a 16-track studio back then. Eric wanted us to bump everything up to 24. So I had to bring all my crates in, put everything into the machines, and me and Dre re-recorded everything on 24. So I worked with him every day. Every day I studied with him close to 2 years, you know.
You produced too, right?
I produced all of the Above the Law stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's me.
And you know, in that time,
Yeah,
all the cocaine stuff too.
yeah, all the cocaine stuff.
So all that stuff like No Pain,
Yeah,
No
No
Gain.
Gain, it's me.
That's
Yeah, everything.
one producer, one
Yeah.
Quincy Jones.
Yeah, Above the Law albums are solely produced by me, and they're written and composed between Kokane, Cam G, DJ Chaos. Go back with the sack. Yeah. But
What was your
also
guys' relationship like with NWA?
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel when Ice Cube left?
Terrible. Because Cube was the first person that we met, you know, and ran with, you know. Well, he kind of like brought us into the whole circle of like, oh yeah, because him and Law were best friends. And so Law kind of brought us in and he brought us to Dre and Easy, but when we would hang out, it would be Cube. Cube would always be around. He'd come out to Pomona and hang out with us and all that. You know, when they was developing, when like Gangsta was out and all that was, when they was developing Straight Outta Compton and all that, they would come out. Him and Law would come out and kick it with us in Pomona before it hit hard, you know. So he was the first person, and then we ended up meeting Dr. Dre when we finished our demo. We ended up meeting Dr. Dre and Easy, and then everything started, you know, coming together. But the cool thing about us at Ruthless Records, we were like a family because it was just us. It was never, the people that were in the studio, like people would be saying, oh, we got Yes Man. Well, the Yes Man was us. We all we partied together. We threw events together. We like Super Bowl parties and all that. We did all that stuff together, you know. So we were very close. That's why on the intro of Niggas for Life, it's me, Cam G, and Coca, and Ren. That's why it's like that. We all, because we did everything together. It's like we can't put it. That's why they're on our record like they are. Miss LA's on there, the DLC's on there because he wrote Eric part on the last song, so he was in the studio with us every day, you know. Doc was in the studio and Dre, all them were around us. That was our circle. That was our super circle. Yeah, DOC. At the time it was Doc, Warren, and Dre. We used to do everything together, dog. Like I'm talking about everything you could name. Picnics, bar mitzvahs, whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? We did everything together. So yeah, we're really close. You know, really, really close. Yeah, that it's crazy because when we was causing so much havoc, they used to call us NWA henchmen.
Yeah, henchmen.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys worked with Warren G and everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So is he the one that brought Snoop around you guys?
Absolutely.
Because I remember seeing that Snoop was actually trying to get signed to Eazy-E at first.
He was trying to get signed through us.
He was going to Compton or something?
Looking
for Eazy-E?
No, that ain't never happened. I don't know where that come from. Warren used to stay with us.
1989.
Yeah, Warren used to live with us.
Actually, me and Warren.
They used to both. We had a production house
in Colton.
In Colton, we had a production house in Colton.
Colton, right here.
Yeah, we had a production house because they didn't want us in the city. They didn't want us in the city, so they kept us outside of the city because we caused so much. We were like the young, like how people. That's why I don't really knock cats now and there because I remember when I was like 19, 20 in the business, and I was like wilding all over the place, fighting, doing kind of crazy stuff. So they moved us out of our environment, and we had a production house out in Colton, and Warren came to stay with us and Kokane came to stay with us at the production house that we had. And
Apartment 187.
And it was called Apartment 187. That's right. And that's when we started developing. At the time, we were finishing Living Like Hustlers and starting to develop, you know, the sound that we call G-Funk. We were starting to develop that, and they fell under that. And Warren used to always talk about, man, y'all gotta meet Snoopy, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, Snoopy. Slim. Yeah, he can rap. Yeah, Slim. Yeah, he just called him Slim. He can rap his ass off. So once we got our legs up under us and Living Like Hustlers came out and it blew hard, we started working on Black Mafia Life, and he bought Snoop to a studio, and we was like, yeah, we heard him he freestyled for us, incredible, and so then it was like, we gonna sign him. He was gonna go through Law House, Ruthless, like that. And that's what he came to. He bought him and he bought Nate Dogg.
Yeah, Nate Dogg.
Yeah, at the time they were trying to develop
the armed service.
Yeah, when he got out the Marines,
yeah,
or something,
Marines.
Navy, one of them. Yeah. And this was like 90, late 90, like the winter of 90, like that.
So Dre had already left at this time, or was
Dre
Dre
was
still
about
there?
to. Dre was still there because we was finishing Black Mafia Life, and they were doing Niggas for Life.
Even for a second.
Yeah. So we were doing both those records, so they was in there when we were doing that. Warren and Snoop and Nate was working with us first, around us all this time, you know. And then when NWA broke up, that's when that's when they did the 213 demo. They played it at a bachelor party. Then me and Dre was still tight. Me and Dre used to still deal with each other because we was bros. So he pulled up on me. He was like, look, check it out, Hutch. I heard you've been working with this kid, Snoop. I want to sign him. What's up? What you think? What should I do? I was like, shoot, kid can go. Dude went in here. He went on. I played a track and he went crazy on it. I told him, you should do that. He the next. You know, from there,
absolutely.
From there, at that time, they were working on the Deep Cover soundtrack. At the time, we both was managed, me and Coco was managed by Suge. So that's how we got the song Nigga Slick Nigga on the Deep Cover soundtrack. So we all were still, we all still was in cahoots together, and that was the birth of Snoop. You know.
Eazy-E he didn't like get a hold of Snoop. He didn't hear of Snoop yet, or
no? Eazy never even knew about Snoop to the degree, because how we would channel stuff would be, if I bought it, I develop it, then I show it to you. That's how it works. Just like I told you a story about Kokane. I said, I got this kid Kokane. They said, okay, here goes some bread, do a 3-song demo. I went in a meeting, played a 3-song demo. He said, I want to meet the kid, I want to sign him. That's it. And that would have been the process for Snoop. We done went in, did the demo. I would have presented it to him. He would have said, what you want to do, Hutch? I think we can go, and we would have went. But yeah.
That close. So
yeah.
Snoop almost was ruthless.
Almost.
He almost was.
Almost ruthless.
Because there was no, what people try to act like that Ruthless wasn't a powerhouse. It was. It was a powerhouse. It's the only reason why, and people might take it like how they don't want to take it, because they don't realize there is no situation that we call Death Row without the success of Ruthless Records. That's real. Ruthless had sold, probably, if you want to say in the modern day, of what people will say as being like hundreds of millions of records, they had already done that.
Right.
Before 1991. There were already, everything that we put out was gold and platinum. Everything we put out was in the top 10, if not the top 50, 20, or number one. You know what I mean? People seem to forget because of how everything transitioned, and it took off to another level. But when rap got where it got to, by the time you saw Death Row, it was household at that time, probably. It wasn't as underground as it was when the Chronic came out, hip hop was out the closet, basically, you know what I'm saying? Versus with NWA and what we were doing at Ruthless Records, it was kind of underground, and it was doing gangster rap. But you got to realize, with no radio play, it was gold and platinum records on the wall. Those records didn't go gold and platinum after the fact. They were gold and platinum in the life of them, That's what a lot of people don't realize. They think it got hot when it got hot. No, those records were plaquing back then. So when you look at when they decided to start Death Row already had a platform already, as people will say now. It already had a platform already to say Dr. Dre was one of the most probably acclaimed producers, accomplished producers in that era in hip hop. Because in Ruthless, he had had 5 records that were platinum, and a couple of them were multi-platinum before Death Row.
Right. Yeah, Dre was, he had a long run.
Yeah. And it's funny how people don't give the credit to Ruthless being the springboard to that. They always seem to start right there and be the greatness of, you know, and kind of take away from what Eric developed. Because without that, without the Ruthless Records run, I don't really think no one is standing where they're standing at. I'm just being honest. I was there. I wasn't mopping the floor at Ruthless Records. I was producing records with them. I was writing songs with them. So I know what's up. When the guy just standing around, peeking around the corner, I was on the floor with him, you know.